Last night, you win a game. Isak gets himself off the mark, which I think is important in terms of just removing that little, no one's going to be doing no 007 nonsense and the pressure that comes with being the signing he is. I was saying last night, for a fact that all those Newcastle journalists have got articles ready, printed, for if he starts to fail or misses chances. They're already they've already got the base of them written. They'll just add in that bit details from that game. But obviously, a big blow last night to your new young centre-back, Leone. His ACL has gone. Everyone kind of see him have that fall, that accident on the side of the pitch late on and wasn't moving great. But he's now out for the season, which, listen, it isn't one of your first-team centre-backs. But that area of centre-backs is probably the big concern that Liverpool supporters had going into the season. You're now left down to just Gomez, Konate, and Van Dijk. So a little concerning there, because one more injury and you're suddenly very, very bare in that area.
Yes, we have a problem, big problem. First of all, I wish Leone a speedy recovery, because obviously ACL, 18 years old, you have to feel very bad for him, specifically given the fact that he actually looked really good out there yesterday. When I did my match reaction, when I came on the Football Terrace, I came here and I said, I think Leone had a very good game, and he's unbelievably talented, but the guy, getting an ACL at 18 years old, is very difficult. So I wish him a speedy recovery, obviously. And look, there is no vodka around here, water only. You get me? This is the thing with this conversation. Obviously, it's very sad. And now, from a Liverpool Football Club perspective, we have no option other than Joe Gomez. So we are very weak right now defensively. I think, given the way that this season will probably progress, Liverpool Football Club now have to go back in for Mark Gahey in January. I think that's the most logical thing to do now, specifically if Leone is out till the end of the season. Hopefully, we can survive from now to the end of the year. I know, we've seen a world in which Gravenberch plays centre-back. We've seen a world in which Endo plays centre-back, etc. And that might work against certain teams, but you cannot go Chelsea away as an example and play, Endo at centre back. You can play Endo at centre back maybe at home to Leeds or something. You can, but you can't do it away to a Chelsea. So there's difficult fixtures coming up for us, and we have to pray that Konate stays fit now for as long as possible. We have to pray for his fitness, because if Konate is injured now, it's basically Virgil and Gomez in all competitions, baby, which is a problem. I see probably Robertson maybe getting minutes at centre back, as crazy it sounds. That might be a situation right now where it happens. We saw it happen yesterday. He played Robertson centre back. So for me, I think January might be a time where we need to reinvest from a centre back perspective. And that's why one of the reasons why during the summer I did want Mark Gahey. One of the big reasons why I wanted him is obviously Leone is 18 years old. Gomez is injury prone. We know Konate is injury prone. So hopefully we need the January transfer window can't come fast enough. It's currently October, so we have to get through in 7 days. We have to get through these next 3 months, and after that,
if there's a manager out there that you look at and you trust that he will find a solution, play 3 at the back with Robertson at a left centre back, or even Kirk as he did it before, or even find the solution within, it's Arne Slot. He found the solution last season for Gravenberch as a DM, he played Endo as centre back. I think he will find a solution. There is a way around it, of course. He can play the 3-5-2, whatever. He will actually make it work, Arne Slot. I'm not worried about Liverpool centre back at all, because Van Dijk is there, and he's Hossam can play next to him, and Van Dijk would look okay, to be honest with you. He would look competent enough to play in the Premier League.
Who's the greatest centre back ever in Premier League history?
Virgil van Dijk is not even. I don't think even anyone close, to be honest with you. And I'm with all due
Van
respect,
Dijk is the best centre back in Premier League history. You heard it.
And it's not even close.
That's the title of your clip, KJ.
It's not even close. Rio Ferdinand, bro. Rio Ferdinand cannot lace the boots of Virgil van Dijk. I'm being serious, to be honest with you. He's not individual. He's not even.
Say that when Terry's here, I dare you.
I'm being serious. Wallah, you think
say it when Terry's here, I dare you.
For the people that say you don't even watch Terry, I watched all John Terry's. Sorry, not Terry. What's his name?
Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand's career at Man United. All of it, and all John Terry's. John Terry close, maybe close to him. But Rio Ferdinand, well, cannot lace his boots. It's like, to be honest with you, I'm being crazy. People saying in the chat I'm being crazy, which is fucking weird. But anyway, Liverpool, as long as you have Van Dijk, will be all right. To be honest with you, you'll be all right. It's amazing. People say Rio, you guys didn't watch. Nostalgia kicks in. Rio Ferdinand, he's getting destroyed left and right, to be honest. But anyway, Liverpool will find a way. But I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. I'm coming from the future. If Liverpool win against Crystal Palace that haven't lost in 19 games, hold it. Shut it down. Make the trophy presentation at Selhurst Park on Saturday and just end the season there.
Why?
They haven't lost in 19 games. 19. Okay, can you imagine the number? It's like 19 games Crystal Palace under Glasner. And if Liverpool go and win that game, I don't give a fuck if it's minute 90. It doesn't matter if it's minute 95. It doesn't matter.
Say it now. Say it.
Say what? That Virgil van Dijk
say what he said when he wasn't here. Say it.
It's the best centre back.
No. The other statement. Say it.
Yeah,
right
Rio
now.
Ferdinand cannot lace Virgil van Dijk's boot individually as a defender, 100%. And don't. Okay, before you come in,
I'm gonna fuck off again now. I'm gonna see you later. Lacey's boots.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something. And people that said Mo didn't watch, you know that I watched all Virgil van Dijk's career at Man United. Rio Ferdinand's career at Man United since he joined till the end. Virgil van Dijk is levels above him. Maybe John Terry is closer, but Rio Ferdinand, no. You know, I rate Vidic more than Rio Ferdinand, right?
That's fine. I would say this, right? I'm not getting into the debate.
But the one he was like, Mo, can you say in front of Terry? It's like,
yeah, no, because as soon as Terry walked up, he was like, Rio Ferdinand can't lace Van Dijk's boots.
No. You fraud. Ask me who's the best center back.
I said close. Because I thought you. Okay, I knew that you thought Van Dijk was the best center back in Premier League history. I never knew that
there are levels.
But I never knew that you think Rio can't lace his boots. I've never heard that.
Terry's close. Rio Ferdinand, not even close, bro. I'm being serious. As an individual defender, Rio Ferdinand is not even close.
I fucking love Mo, man.
Well, not even close to him.
What was it about Rio Ferdinand that only makes him an average?
He's a reactive defender, not as quick as Van Dijk. Strong, yes. Very reactive defender. Good in partnership with others, but he isn't Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk, for me, can lead any defense. So I'll explain to you. So okay, any more questions?
What do you make of his position? You think his positioning is bad?
It's okay. Not Virgil van Dijk.
Ability on the ball?
Not Virgil van Dijk.
No, but we're not talking about Virgil van Dijk. We're talking about like
we're comparing him to Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, but I want to know what you think of Rio. So you can't say not
average defender on the ball. Nesta, like even less than Nesta, Cannavaro. Who else? Like he's not elite on the ball like Virgil van Dijk.
What about his ability to command the air, clear balls, headers, that type of work as a defender? Where do you rate that?
Tarkowski's fantastic as a someone that clears the air and just wins duels and stuff like this.
So you put him in Tarkowski's level?
I didn't. In that category, yes, Tarkowski. You said duels and stuff like this. Yes, Tarkowski's elite blocks and stuff.
You said earlier about like your football night. Like, I'm not going to be rage bait into anything.
I'm not trying to rage bait. That's really my opinion, by the way.
I asked Mo, just so you know, Terry, I asked Mo, by the way, he was watching Italian football for a long time. I asked him just historically, in full football history, who does Mo think is better than Van Dijk? And to be fair, this is Mo's opinion, and he's substantiated his claim. He thinks that historically, from all the football he's watched, the only two defenders he thinks is better than Van Dijk is Maldini and Nesta. That's it.
Remember, I didn't watch Baresi, I didn't watch Franco Baresi, I didn't watch.
Yeah, like after Baresi, basically.
Look, and that's fair analysis. I think that the one thing that Van Dijk has in his favor is he's not competing against those defenders at the same time.
I won the argument.
Oh, no, it's not.
I won the argument.
We're not having an argument.
No, because the problem is once we start bringing like, but Rio Ferdinand was playing against tougher attackers, but the way teams differ. You just said that.
No, I didn't. I was talking. What I said to you. I didn't, because the reason why you don't know what I said is because you interjected. What you can do, you can sit in your hands for a minute like a good boy and be quiet.
Oh my
I bet you can do it.
He's mad.
So I'm talking about comparing the defenders against one another. So when you talk across generations rather than comparing people that actually played against one another, it makes it a different conversation for me. So Van Dijk has been the best centre back in the last 7 or 8 years in his era. I don't think there's been many, especially in the Premier League, that have been close to him. Had there been 4, 5, 6 others that were close to him, you might not think he's the best in Premier League history, because it's Van Dijk, the advantage he has in these debates. By the way, Rio said this the other day, and I agree with Rio. Van Dijk would have been one of the best in the world in any of these eras. I'm not going to play down Van Dijk's quality, right, but it's often about perspective. And we've had these conversations about certain players before. If you're in an individual team, if you are the big fish in a tiny pond, so you're a world-class player in an average team, you could often sometimes stand out more than when you become a world-class player in a team with 7 or 8 other world-class players in a gigantic ocean. I think the same can be done for comparisons in that regard. I think that
that's a fair argument, actually.
It's absolutely fair. It's absolutely fair to say you think Van Dijk's better than Rio. I'm not even going to argue it, because I think it's close. I think the disrespectful part is not lacing his boots. And I'll give you an example. And again, it's how understanding what that word means. Where I'm from, I'll say this to you now. What we would say is Darwin Núñez cannot lace Harry Kane's boots, because there is that much difference between them. I don't think there's that much difference between Rio Ferdinand and Virgil van Dijk. I don't think one's Darwin Núñez and one is Harry Kane. I think that is what that phrase is used for. I think if you think Van Dijk's better, that's fine. But Rio Ferdinand, when you say, the one thing you said that is objectively wrong is he wasn't very good with the ball. Rio Ferdinand was one of the very first and few, along with John Terry, centre-backs in Premier League history who had the ability to come out with the ball and play with it. In fact, he played in midfield on a number of occasions as well. And for that era of football was looked at across the world as one of the very best technically gifted and ball-playing centre-backs. Now, is he as good as the centre-backs today? No, but that's everything to do with training and what centre-backs are taught to do from a younger age compared to his generation. And that's what makes it hard to compare eras, like goalkeepers. The goalkeepers from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even the 2000s, they weren't trained at any point to be able to do with their feet what keepers do now. So I find Alisson's better. People go, Alisson's better than Cech because Cech couldn't use his feet. I find it a disingenuous argument, because goalkeepers have changed. Their role has changed within football, as an example.
I agree with that.
So football changes. There was a lot more one-on-one defending done in years gone by. So defenders were tested in a very, very different way. Also, you had a lot of, you're talking about centre-backs. Forget Rio, just all of the ones you mentioned. They played in an era where you played up against 2 strikers with 2 centre-backs rather than just with 1. So there's all these differences. And I've said for years, and I've never, ever once slagged off Van Dijk. I've literally said best centre-back in the world for the last 8 years. Wouldn't do it. For me, we're comparing eras versus eras where we all admit football changes, but yet we want to do comparisons of players from different eras. I think it's really difficult to do that because times do change, things change, as an example. But
so who do you think? Okay, so who do you think is better, Van Dijk or Rio Ferdinand?
I'm going to say Rio Ferdinand, but I think it's marginal. Right, I think it's marginal. Okay. But like I've said, if someone goes Van Dijk, cool. The only thing you've said that I think most Liverpool fans would disagree with you on, if they're being serious, is there isn't this can't lace his boots. Is Darwin Núñez can't lace.
Someone said it in the comment. It doesn't have to be that. Maybe Rio Ferdinand was a BMW, but Virgil van Dijk is the Rolls Royce. He's not a Corolla. He's not like a Fiat.
Yeah, but it depends what BMW.
He's a BMW, but there's the difference between a BMW and Rolls Royce.
Well, maybe
it's the same difference, probably.
The thing is, though, that Rolls Royce comment, Rio Ferdinand was one of the first footballers in England, if not the only footballer of his generation, that was referred to as a Rolls Royce. The difference is you're comparing a Rolls Royce from 30 years ago to a Rolls Royce now. All modern cars look better than old cars, but that's because you're looking backwards. You look at a sports car from the 1980s, it looks shit compared to today's sports cars, but it wasn't shit in the 80s. You're not looking at it through the right lens. And I defend all of this. By the way, this is one day going to happen to the legend of today's game. We'll be sitting here in 30 years, in 20 years time, 30 years time, and all the youngsters will be talking about the players now compared to the ones we're now speaking on, and all the kids in the comments will be like, nah, you're not seeing it right. Football's changed now. You can have 11 subs. You know, you're allowed to handball it twice a game. The rules will be bad by then. Do you know what I mean? But I hear you. Terry-based Moses Shambles followed by Terry, your logic is so bad. I don't think my logic is so bad. And again, I said nothing detrimental. I just think San Rio can't lace Virgil's boots is crazy. Let's go back to